Hello, welcome and welcome back. This is today we are going to be finishing off the narration for the Arknights side story Undertides. But before we go into today's episode, quick little thing as always, there will be a time skip in the comment section below if you want to just skip to the story, but just hear me quickly out on a couple of things before we get into the usual segment where we recap the previous episode. First off, just as a reminder, on the channel there will be a daily uploaded mini-series of file narrations and the corresponding characters' voice lines from Saturday the 29th, which should be a day after this episode goes live. It will be sort of a mini countdown towards the release of Stultifera Navis on Thursday the 3rd of November, and on the final day and after the poll video goes up on the channel, there should be the final of the files, at least for this mini countdown, as on the final day I will upload the full file for both Specter normal and hopefully pull her, I hope I pull her for that video, Specter alter. It will be basically a fused video, just the same way Skadi will have her fused video between her normal version and the Skadi alter version. But yeah, series starts from 29th, so please look forward to it. It's gonna be interesting, featuring the 3 titular characters on screen right now. Cuts has already been done and is already in the playlist of the already existing file narrations. And the other 3, well, you might get a sneak peek today. Also, as always, considering this will be the final episode for a side story, considering there is a boss stage, a sort of unique boss stage in this side story too, it will be added to the video, so at one point in the final stage we will have the battle featured as well in the episode. So there will be a sneak peek and potentially a couple of characters that will be in the final narration episodes. That, and also, considering today is Friday, today is also the release of the anime, and I am very hyped to see that finally, considering the 4th and final trailer for that thing was freaking amazing and gave me goosebumps. The swelling music, the snippets of combat, and all the voice files that they just pile on top of each other as it quickly advances towards the end of the trailer. Mwah, great. That's gonna be great. Still a bit sad that it's only gonna cover only up until probably the end of the Misha arc. My personal prediction is, considering it's only 8 episodes, it's literally gonna end at that one single scene where in the main story Shen is, I think she's standing on like a dune or something, looking towards Lungmen and phoning into Amiya to tell her about the situation. It's literally gonna be that moment, and then they're just gonna either throw in a sneak peek at what's to come, or it's just gonna end there. But yeah, that is about it. The final thing I want to just say is that there, yes, will be, before Stultifera Navis goes live on Global, there will be on the channel one more episode of the main story narration, probably around Monday or Thursday? Tuesday, sorry. Monday or Tuesday, somewhere around there. After this episode I will need a bit of a small break, because that last episode and the Seaborn voice that I was doing, ugh, and I still have to do it. That bitch is not gone yet. But I think this does it. Also, as per usual, considering this is a final part, there will be a small segment at the end of the episode where I will just add my 2 cents to what I think about the story and character developments and all the spiel. But let's get into today's first segment of what was on the last part. For people who want to skip, like I said at the beginning, towards the just normal narration of the episode, just hit the timestamp in the comment section below. But for now, on the last part, we started off with a dream sequence of sorts. Skadi was asleep after she was exhausted after some battles and being injured. And in the dream she remembers, pretty much we don't get to see anything, but we get more like a feeling conveyed to us as how the last battle that the Abyssal Hunters were pretty much sent on like a suicide mission to kill whatever the freaking thing, the gargantuan stuff was below the surface of the water. And Skadi got, after that, pretty much just tossed away and carried by the currents, as she later believed that she is the final survivor. But as we know, obviously, she wasn't. We then proceed to her waking up, being in a daze, attacking Anita, and snapping back at the last moment before she would actually really hurt her. After which we get a small segment where they pretty much just go around the town, that nothing too significant is happening. We do get a small little peek at a discussion between the two Inquisitors that are in town, them discussing the current situation and being attacked by more seaborne creatures that are being quite frantically crazy at this point. We then proceed to follow Skadi as she returns with Anita to Anita's abode, and we get a little small, and I love that moment actually, small little cute moment where Skadi actually starts properly talking to someone for once, and there are reasons into which I will go at the end of the episode, and it's kind of covered in her file as well, especially in her voice files, why she is the way she is towards people. But we get a cute little moment where she teaches Anita how to make alcohol out of seagrass. very little adorable moment where the two of them just bond. Then we finally get to see, well, we sadly don't get to hear it. Wish there was an actual song playing in the background or something. Hypergriff, please. You are already being memed at to be a not music company. Not music company. So please, can we in these song moments actually have songs in the background? You're commissioning so many songs, just do it at this point. But yeah, we get a amazing little moment where Skadi actually performs a song to the people who are present in that rundown bar. And Irene as well, who was outside observing Skadi. And one thing everybody has in common is that at the point where Skadi starts singing, everybody suddenly has like a clear mind and is just focusing on Skadi. Everything is just around her and her singing. And everybody feels that little jolt that goes through them. Including Gladiia, who is far, far away in the chapel with the bishop, who also gets a bit rattled by the song. After which we get abruptly cut off as the people start to go outside towards the beach because food has arrived out of the ocean. Yes, the sea terrors that we were fighting already are actually the same food source that the townspeople are consuming. They just waft that shit down like it's nothing. Anita herself goes there and starts collecting food resources for later to distribute to a couple of people as well. And Skadi finally sees Gladiia and pretty much just rushes at her. The two of them have a bit of a little bout between each other, but they do exchange some words. It is still at that point unclear to what Gladia's actual intentions here are, but they let go of each other and Gladiia returns with the bishop. We then get to see a little scene between the two, between our two Inquisitors, as Irene voices concerns and wants to go and save the people of the town to get them out of danger before they blast the whole church to smithereens. The High Inquisitor warns her, but lets her do her thing because as she leaves, he says basically to himself that she needs to learn. And if she needs to learn, and if it has to be the hard way, it has to be the hard way. We then get to see Skadi, who finally follows after Gladiia and the bishop, and they both get to the church. And then we get a boatload of exposition. Oh boy. We basically get answers to a lot of things. First off, considering Skadi was already in the game before the story was released, and so was Specter, there was a couple of things already alluded to the fact that something was done to these Abyssal Hunters. And as we learn, once Skadi gets to talk to the bishop and they go to the bottom of to basically some kind of basement cavern below the church, they first off find Specter there, who is in like a tank of water, sorta asleep in a way. We get to know for once that yes, the bishop was the same person who did experiments on Specter a long while ago, as he did on a bunch other Abyssal Hunters, but we get also other stuff confirmed, as the Seaborn asshole appears and stabs Gladiia through the chest, as Gladiia was about to go and murder the hell out of the bishop. He just plunges his head through her chest, leaves her crumpled on the ground, and then proceeds to talk to Skadi. He addresses Skadi as his sister because apparently Seaborn blood is going through Skadi's veins, and it's apparently pretty strong as well. The bishop himself gets rattled by the fact and is in disbelief of what is happening here, that they are not real brothers and sisters to them. But from the Seaborn we get a lot of exposition. We learn a couple of things. First off, all of the Abyssal Hunters from Aegir had experiments done on them, which basically infused them with Seaborn blood, which is pretty much why they are so diesel and OP compared to other people, and have high regeneration on top of it. There is one negative to it, though, which is that they will basically, over time, turn into Seaborn if nothing is done, if anything can even be done to it. Skadi is in a bit of a conundrum there, as her mind is going all over the place and doesn't know what to say and what to do and how to react. Just memories and flashes to her life in Aegir going through her mind, remembering her family members, realizing that her family members were probably not killed by Seaborn themselves, but by Aegir, who turned Seaborn, rattles her even more. And finally, our dear Seaborn asshole over there reminds her that about the fight she was having against pretty much their god. Skadi then flashes back through the fights, realizing that she, yes, landed the killing blow on that gigantonormic asshole, and is pretty much in a state of mind where she is addressing that thing as her very own god of sorts, because she is in that place of flipping between an Aegir and a Seaborn, at least mentally, for a short time. But luckily Gladiia is not dead yet. She is slowly regenerating. She goes back to her feet and attacks the Seaborn, pretty much calling the asshole trash. She's very much in control of who she is and what she is, compared to Specter, Skadi, who is being a bit rattled by the whole mess. But yeah, that is pretty much where we left off. So, let's begin with today's episode on Stage 8. Also, I would like that yes, Stage 8 is technically a mini-boss battle, considering that, yes, this is the stage where you fight the Seaborn ass. But it's a very simple stage, so I will not include it on this narration. It's really simple. Like, the guy appears and you literally smack him. That's pretty much what is happening there. But yeah, let's begin. So, Stage 8, titled kin. A beautiful monster is a monster nevertheless. A human monster is a monster nevertheless. So, before part. Mixed breeds. You mixed breeds. Harold, what's the meaning of this? Why are they still alive? What of theirs is worth sparing? You must have realized they were nothing like you when first they slaughtered our bloodkin. You are a holy being and they are mere filth. Very flexible, eh? We hacked away at your kind with cold weapons so as to not expose you to our technology. That way you will never become something we can't deal with. But I guess I overestimated. You don't seem very sensitive at all. Can't even adjust to this much. Looks like you just can't adapt to blades forged by eager technology. Am I right? Harold, she is insulting you. Bishop, oh Bishop, can't you tell? Yes, I am confident I can kill you, and I could have done so right from the start.
Brother, why won't you accept them? They are my sisters, and so they are your sisters too. I can rouse you, rouse Isharmla, and of course Gladiia too. Just because your brothers swam for the shallow seas, you no longer recognize them as your brothers. You haven't looked back once. But our tribe cares.
No, this is nonsense. So you believe every single word of that good book you're holding? Let me remind you, Bishop, but you too are spreading heresy in full view of the Iberians. It doesn't matter to me one bit what this thing tells me, but you are from the Church of the Deep. Perhaps you should be taking notes. Kill them. Kill them. Harold, do it. Their crimes are grave and unforgivable. They spout blasphemy against you and the sea.
If that is your wish, then I shall do it.
It doesn't matter to you at all, does it? It doesn't matter if I asked this of you. You said so yourself. You will kill them.
Yes, it doesn't matter to me.
Then kill the wandering singer first. Kill the one in the red dress. Trash. If I tell you to kill the person behind you, the bishop who's dressed like a strand of kelp, will you do it?
Yes. Because he is my kin, and so are you. He calls out to me, and so do you.
Ah, humans. Eager are vile and hideous, aren't they? Admit it, Bishop. We are all foolish eager, and we like to apply what we think to low-life beasts. You don't understand it at all. You mixed blood. Well, if it all you want is to protect us, why not refuse?
Refuse? How do I refuse?
Enough. Looks like you are indeed a lowlife. That's about as deep as you can swim. But listen up, Trash. I want to ask you to kill the weakling behind you. You are prey. Who would beg prey to do something? You want to hurt her? You will listen to his suggestions and kill Skadi, my hunter. You don't need that answer anymore, do you?
I have other ways, even with her dead. As long as there's a way, it doesn't matter to me. But you told me to refuse.
Way too soon. Gladiia coughing up blood. Whatever, if you have your heart set on killing her, you must first go through me.
Now, Gladiia. whenever you get to live and whether your flesh will continue to function, this is for you to decide.
And let us decide that by hunting each other.
Each other. Yes, we will prey on each other. We will prey on me, and I will prey on you.
And straight into the battle stage. But we will add... whoops, wrong button. We will add this bitch asshole's story to this. So, as he's called, the first to talk. The first beautiful living being to speak human language before civilized man. Seaborn. Interesting, right? That is an interesting thing to say right there. The first things to talk or converse on this planet were Seaborn? But let's continue with the after story. Gladiia has pierced through the Seaborn's body once again. The Seaborn is about to die. The Seaborn does not turn its face towards the bishop. The bystanders have no idea whether the Seaborn actually had eyes, but Skadi can feel the monster's gaze. At the very least, that is how she feels. It is looking at the bishop. The shapeless tides are washing away at the bishop, his robes weigh down on his body, almost crushing him. But the Seaborn is not addressing him.
Do you think you are more like me or him? Gladiia, you are strong.
Gladiia merely looks at her prey with a cold stare.
Emotions our kinsman will learn. There is much that we are passing on, and we will try to pass them on to you as well. Isharmla, live. It's good to be alive. Our bloodkin will find you again, and they will ask you why. We don't know how to ask questions, but we will learn.
Slowly, the Seaborn kneels down. Its body will stand no longer. It merely curls like a rapidly withering flower. It's dead. Skadi breathes a sigh of relief. No, she has yet to recover from learning the truth, but the prey's death has truly made her felt. It was alive, and now it is not. You damned mixed breeds. The bishop raises his voice. His coarse voice reverberates in his throat, slithering through the debris left behind by the intense battle, as though his vocal cords could not contain his mumbling. Yet Gladiia does not so much as look his way. Yes, step right up. It's your turn now. This piece of trash is all by himself, and the sea terrors outside probably aren't from the same tribe, so they must be yours. I will tear you to shreds. Your blasphemy will be punished. I will do it myself. I will take care of your mixed bloods right here, right now. Life is precious, but to keep you alive would be a waste of resources. One of you is heavily injured, and the other cannot so much as move. I will scatter what's left of you across the land so that you will be eaten by the most lovely of land creatures. I can easily kill you too. Enough with the show. Unlike the piece of trash Seaborn, you at least used to be human, and now you're pretending to still be one. That just makes me want to puke. This is where you will die. Forgot about me, did you? Skadi rolls her eyes as Gladiia grins. The bishop starts for a second before he turns around. Alright, that was a quick stage. Alright, going to the final stage, titled Believer. It says here, he may be very smart, but he's also too paranoid. Taken together, that makes him not very smart. Compared to the boundless ocean, he is nothing. So, let's go to the before story. Skadi, can you move? I don't know, it's tough to keep that kind of feeling under control. It's hard not to think about it. I can't move my fingers, it feels like my nails will all swim away if I try to. Your neural cells are rapidly metabolizing. Remember, you are a hunter. They can't do anything to you. Is thinking about that going to help? If you don't want to become a seaborn, this will help wonders. Okay. I think I can still pick up my weapon. A mixed blood without a weapon and another who's injured and a third one that's infected. What can you even hope to accomplish? Look at that expression of yours. Are you starting to think yourself noble now? Me? Wait, strange. I'm afraid you've misunderstood. I might have felt sorry for the Seaborn, but if you think I feel the same about you, you have another thing coming. Once I kill you, it'll be all over. Do you really think that's a saxophone in her case? Little mermaid, how much longer will you sleep? Open your eyes. The things that happened in the past can't possibly have you trapped. She was a mere test subject as well. Shark, you've been awake for a while, haven't you? The bishop turns around. There he finds Specter stroking the glass of the water tank. She looks at the bishop with a curious and gentle gaze. What? Even such a high-density originium liquid? The bishop stumbles backwards a little, but then remembers the two abyssal hunters are standing behind him, petrifying him. Specter mouths a few words. They seem to be some really voracious words. It's great to see you're the same as ever, Shark. I almost forgotten she always used to be like this. Skadi kicks open the box. There is a blade inside. Yes, her greatsword had been inside the box the whole time, alongside a circular saw with a long handle. My hand still feels rather numb. I didn't spend all these years with Rhode Island to come unprepared for something like this. Here. Skadi bends back a little and vigorously throws the saw at the glass tank. The bishop hurriedly dodges, but the circular saw sweeps up a gale that manages to tear open a wide hole in his long robe. Right before the merciless weapon lands on the glass tank, and shatters it to pieces, a pale white hand shatters the glass pane herself. Just as the water inside spills out from the tank, the hand grabs onto the saw without regard to the sharp shards of glass flying in the air. Caught between her hand and the handle of the saw, the glass shards immediately shatter into fine, glittering dust that spills from the gaps between her fingers. Needless to say, Specter's hand is completely unharmed. The hunter has awakened. Specter has awakened. Here I was thinking I could keep being the courtesy lady I am for just a little longer. Specter answers with an ill-boding grin. I've spent such a long time as an adorable, well-behaved nun. I wasn't sure how I'd approach you two. Enough. Come out already. It's been a very long time. I'm not sure if I'm more used to how you are now or back when you were all deranged and high-strung. Before the bishop can come back to his senses, the predator in the water tank has already broken out of her fragile cage. She begins to hack away at the one responsible for this string of events with her saw. A scream echoes through the cave. Wow, so tough. Shark, come back. He's a seaborn now. A foul stench fills the air. It is then that Skadi realizes what has actually been the source of this strange phenomenon. Captain, Specter, let's get out of here. The three of them realize what is about to happen. You mixed bloods, I will destroy. The bishop's body begins to expand rapidly, and his body grows. As his body grows, he swings his long appendages around in sweeping motions, smashing the walls of the cave to a crumble in an instant. You push your luck too far. The bishop's skull cracks open between his eyes. His eyelids break off from his large eyeballs. The hunter's retreat is reflected in the glass objects that lie there. Countless tentacles quickly bulge out from what had been its slender, frail body. They then swipe at these insects that it had once only ridiculed. Also, I would like to add here, hey, welcome to the Genova section of this game. Final Fantasy VII is sending its greetings. Seawater begins to fill the cave, just as the bishop's body continues to expand. The bishop's wriggling destroys all of the equipment in its vicinity. Its body is no different than that of the Seaborn, yet the anger it exudes is undoubtedly human. Bishop, noisy and hurried twitching sounds. How did he grow this big all of a sudden? What did he do to stuff all of his meat in his body? Ha! Look, his head split in two. Remember, the right side is mine. Bishop, bizarre sounds. How come you people are always howling? Bishop, human speech sounds. Act quickly or your prey will get away. Either that or it will die at the hands of another hunter. Yo. Bishop, sudden skeleton rocking sounds. Look at him, so sore-headed that he can't even form a full sentence. He's not human anymore. Preys like this one are only valuable when the hunters hunt them. Let's go. Go up. The giant monster, once human, chases after the three minuscule hunters. Its body is continuing to expand. It longs to destroy everything and to tear all that refutes its beliefs to shreds. They all dash towards the end of this path upwards. Meanwhile, the water beneath begins to surge upward as the monster's body continues to grow until the water has finally reached the top of the path, the chapel. The waves roil in the hunter's surroundings, sending splashes flying towards their fingers and feet. The seawater brushes their fingertips. They have made it home. What's going on? The earth is shaking. Is the hill next to the shore? Looks like something's falling. I can see it through the window here. Is that the chapel? Ah, the house is shaking too. My box, the food. Grandma Petra. Everyone, please head outside with me at once. It's dangerous to stay inside. What am I doing, wasting my breath? Alright, come. Huh? Inquisitor, you lifted Grandma Petra up in one go? Stop standing around, I know you understand what I'm saying. Do you have any idea how old this house is? It's going to collapse after a few quakes. I'm not sure what's happening at the chapel, but they went there. Things might, whatever happens next, it's not going to be my problem. Drywall, brick, stone column, Uncle Fireplace. Take my hand. Drywall, bring a few more people with you. Follow the Inquisitor. Let's go out. Phew. Finally, looks like everyone made it.
The hill, the chapel, food, priest.
You're still worried about that wolf in sheep's clothing. It's like you don't know who put you in this situation. Very well. You stop where you are. Come back. Grandma Petra, did you open your eyes? I'm here, Grandma. Hey, watch out! Rocks, they are falling from the roof. Inquisitor, did you block that for us? You...
The elderly woman grips tightly onto the Inquisitor's sleeve.
Grandma Petra is looking at you, Inquisitor. She's thanking you. Hold on tighter then. You're bleeding. It was that bash I just took now. It kinda hurts too. You helped me when the Sea Terrors attacked me too. We'll call ourselves even. Why am I even doing this to begin with? It's not like any of you are even scared of anything. You don't even run away when your lives are in danger. Does that even count as being alive? Her song is still stuck in my head. The Inquisitor, the singer, isn't here. Is that going to be a problem? Problem? I guess what you think is a problem isn't that kind of a problem. You know what she's like. If she does actually have a problem, I'm sure the answer to your question wouldn't be too shabby. If you want to know how that will turn out, you'll just have to wait. Perhaps she will actually give you a decent answer. We're almost there to the chapel. It isn't stopping.
The tentacles reach upwards, crushing all the falling rocks into dust. The gravels collide into surrounding walls and cause them to fissure. Specter's saw is rumbling, and the moment the tentacles draw near her, a smirk appears on her face.
I wonder how long it's been since I had to take on a prey like you. This is becoming delightful.
Specter swings her saw in one horizontal stroke, striking it on the wall. A huge hole appears in the granite rock face. She uses the momentum to flip herself up. At the same time, the saw traces a grayish path beneath her that intersects the tentacle. A sharp slicing sound rings through the air, slicing the tentacle in two. With her hair fluttering in the air, the nun grabs what had been a part of the stairs and pushes herself, continuing her dash toward the chapel. She gazes at the cross-section of the tentacle. A few tiny spores are bulging out of that translucent white area.
Do you hear that? Its cells are screaming just like us. It has emotions. It used to be an eager. No, no more. And it could hardly be called one before.
Suddenly, the tip of its severed tentacle releases the spores, and several sharp-edged streams of liquid gush out toward the hunters. Skadi flips her sword and presses the blade against her body as a shield. The three liquid streams hit the blade, pushing Skadi back several meters. The liquid splashes onto the rock face nearby, boring a few small holes before evaporating.
That pressure's even higher than the water jet on my workbench. It's looking at us. It's looking at us.
Pardon?
Think of something. Is this thing going to keep growing without end?
All of a sudden, the eye of the head of the bishop let out a strange beam.
Energy beam?
That moment, Gladia's lance slashes the sight organ of the bishop. A hard membrane layer immediately covers the monster's eye. The lance's tip leaves a long trail of scar on the membrane, so that she then leaps upward as the monster howls in vexation below. The hunters are almost there to the bottom of the building. The chapel's floor has already crumbled away during their fierce battle. There are only a few seconds left until they make it to the top.
However, Gladiia slows down.
Swordfish.
We're almost done. Going by its size and weight, this should do the trick. Get ready. The monster's body lets out a strange sound. The noise of the mountain collapsing and its strange howl are mingled together as they reverberate throughout the chapel. Yet its hunt has come to an abrupt end.
How could this be?
The monster is confident. Its power comes from the sea. Their assault is unstoppable. All they have to do is reach out to their consciousness, and the answer will reveal itself. Its tentacles can almost reach the nun's legs. It will pull her down onto the ground, drag her back, and tear her apart. Yet it cannot reach her. It realizes its tentacles cannot extend any further, that the difference of 4 centimeters between it and its prey feels as wide as the deep trenches of the sea. As her saw revolves in the air, the nun quickly twists herself around. Like seagrass in a turbulent current, she tilts her weapon downwards, ready to counter. It mustn't give her this opportunity. It mustn't give them any chances at all. The bishop is starting to fret. That is, if his blood temperature allows for that. It needs to evolve. It must evolve further. Its inner shell should still be able to expand further and break free from its flesh. It should be able to fill its signum with blood before ejecting it in all directions like spikes. Its neural system should be able to release electric currents, and the tips of its tentacles should be able to harden and be used as weapons. Its body should not be rooted to the bottom of the sea. It should be able to move. Yes, it should move, and it should then be able to slither and swim among the rubble, leap upwards, pull their bodies into its coils and crush them. Evolve. It must evolve and evolve. But suddenly it remembers Seaborn, and it realizes that Seaborn was unconcerned about its life. The tribe will continue. Their future is prolonged. Their descendants will evolve. Their descendants. Its descendants. Descendants. Not itself. The bishop's ability to reason is frozen dead in its already dissolved skull. Evolution is something that concerns the entire group for generations to come. It has nothing to do with itself individually. It will die. Its only plausible outcome is to die here in despair. No. Do the Seaborn despair? Are its hopes being shattered only because it had been an eager? It starts to struggle desperately with its external tentacles, while its inner ones reach out to its consciousness. It no longer understands anything. It cannot begin to understand. Just what was it that pushed it to surpass what had been its kinsman, spurred its growth, and led it to its downfall? This is as far as it can grow. The sea terrors are making their way here by following its roads, but they won't be here in time. They are not fast enough. It won't reach those rich nutrients in time. The Seaborn are not God. They are a different kind of organism, and so is it. This is as far as it gets. Its body will feed the sea. Having finally come to this realization, the bishop screams in terror, but its lungs have already been transformed into a kind of filtration organ. All it can do is hopelessly let its cysts continue their beating. An intense stream of gas gushes out of its mouth. It desperately curls its all-too-long body. The gas that streams out lets out a sharp shriek as it passes through the beast's layers of teeth, sending the entire chapel trembling. But the monster is unable to escape. It is prey, and the hunters have already found their prey.
Now, this is payback for everything you've done to me. You could say I've really gone easy on you.
Don't let it get away. We've made a pretty big ruckus already.
We'll let you off the hook for the other hunters, Bishop. But this one strike is for my family and my friends, of both the sea and lands, all of whom you murdered. Die, bastard. Like flowers blossoming in the sea, the hunters slam downwards, straight away with the stone-cold weapons in their hands. The bishop makes an attempt to retreat back to its cave. Prey animals tend to think their nests are the safest of all locations. This response was etched into their bodies tens of thousands of years ago. As the enormous creature pulls away, the path begins to collapse as it twists and turns. The mountain crumbles away like cake, large chunks of rock falling down like crumbs. The bishop flees. It is fast, so fast that it has exceeded the limitations of living organisms. Its body possesses all the qualities that predators and survivalists could only dream of. As long as it makes it back to its nest and seals off the path, its enemies will have no way to follow it, and it will swallow them as they sleep. All it needs to do is make it back to its nest. But it is all too late. In their swift fall downwards, the hunters look just like shooting stars. A sight that those who live in the deep sea rarely have the opportunity to witness. With his desires and plans clouding his mind, the bishop has, of course, never looked up at the night sky to enjoy that spectacle. But they are different. When the abyssal hunters had to fight for their lives and escape from the melancholy and sacrifice, they swam upwards, and when they finally reached the surface, they could only solemnly gaze upon the star-filled night sky. The hunters have all etched the destinies of these short-lived stars into their hearts. Despite everything, the darkness can still be broken. Now, die. The three shooting stars illuminate the deep passageway. The bishop is horrified. It has no lungs and no vocal tracts. This thundering sound is as close as it gets to a scream for its current body. Alrighty then. Before we go into the stage, we shall add this big motherfucker's story to this narration. Called Salviento Bishop Quintus, a member of the Church of the Deep who snuck into disaster-ravaged Iberia. He changed the law of the land through his sincere beliefs, in pursuit of the perfect form, yet he was unable to fathom the will of the ocean. Then again, who could? So yeah, let's go into the stage. Oh. I'm missing one energy. Screw it. Just give me. But yeah, let's let this roll. Enjoy the music and the stage. But yeah, this is pretty much a straightforward stage of whack the big guy in the middle and be hopefully around the towers. Also, if anybody's wondering, considering Skadi is in her red dress form as the singer, why am I not using Skadi as the singer here? Well, she's not attacking the asshole with songs or anything. She's pretty much whacking at a guy with her greatsword. So yeah. And in the final series we will get into what is up with the red version, the singer version of Skadi. So please, look forward to that one.
に立ち向かうから。かの深き海より参りました。こんにちは。そしてさよなら。みんな頑張って。
すぐに解決いたします。
治療法を見つけた。
でもがいてる。気をつけなさい。この海流は脆弱な命を飲み込みますね。
呼吸を整えてリラックスして。
こいつ服のセンスは悪くないのか。
逃しませんよ。治療法を見つけた。
よく目を離し。
みんな頑張って。みんな頑張って。わかりました。
Alright, and that's pretty much it for the stage. Just waiting for the goddamn robot over there to finish its thing and walk the hell out. Eventually.
Mission accomplished.
There we go.
お手本のような勝利でした。
Oh, perfect!
あなたはいずれきっとどんな弱小生物よりも優れた方になるのでしょうね。
I was hoping that one of the three of them will be on this. This is perfect. This is actually perfect. But yeah, can I just quickly say that I absolutely love the new thing they have going here for the mission results. Just bigger and better view of the character splash art. Dope. But yeah, let's go to the after stage story now. Among the debris and crumbled walls, the monster's bloated corpse fills much of the car's cave. Its bizarre body, which had until now emanated a strange sense of beauty, began to stiffen as it dreads its impending doom. It is leaking water everywhere. Let's finish it off. We need to go.
Right, you blind Philistines get to live while I must fail when I have dedicated my entire life to this noble goal. You are mere pests of eager, blind and stagnant. You are nothing but a nuisance to the science and to the future. I am so close to the truth. Why must I die here while you get to escape the punishment you deserve? I've come so far. My will and my flesh were on the verge of exceeding the limitations of man. Why? Why? Why?
Shut up.
Eternal fall. Nothing will be left of you. Nothing.
You fool. I am eager. As long as I'm alive, eager is alive.
You, but ironic how ironic. You're different. You're destined to be different. You know it. Your destiny is about set in stone.
Enough of your nonsense. Just die already. That's the only thing I ask of you, and I'm being plenty sincere about this.
Curse you all until the lands fall. You will flee the sea only to find yourself dissolved in its waters like salt. On the barren's wasteland line, your corpses are ceaseless waves will engulf all the world's land.
Gladiia seems to be trying to control herself. The last bit of her courtesy is merely a byproduct of the contempt she cannot contain. The bishop whimpers as he reaches his limbs out to Gladiia. But before it could reach the hunter, the limb has stiffened, twitched, and curled into a ball. The bishop is dead, and he will be forgotten completely. Gladiia looks at Specter and Skadi. He is gone at long last. This has finally come to an end. I ended it by my own hands. Yet this is nowhere nearly as satisfying as I imagined. Compared to all they have done to me, this is far from enough, but that's one down, 2 to go for us. I'm getting a little dizzy. How did I come to this place? It feels almost like a dream. Shark. I can't stay awake for long after all. We finally have their tentacles caught. If we grab it now and pluck its roots out there, we will definitely find a way to heal you. This isn't a big problem. As it stands, they cannot control me, and I feel exceptionally well. The feeling of freedom. Who could have known I would get to experience it now? This has me so elated, it feels as though I'm flying high with excitement. Though, Captain, I'm afraid I heard everything you said. Was the bishop saying we will become seaborns too? Captain, will he become one of those more formidable kinds? They are quite strong. That won't happen. You are way too different from them. I hope my actions didn't put you two in harm's way. Answer a few questions for me. Ask away. Is there seaborn blood flowing in our veins? Yes. You are here to figure out the cause of the problems in Specter's body, and you took that blow to figure out why the seaborn was looking for me. Yes, that's right. And you knew from the start the bishop wasn't the only seaborn here? Yes. Do you know what I did after that final battle that was borderline suicide? I don't. Did we win? I don't know. I lost contact with Aegir. Are we abandoned by Aegir? Yes, the Abyssal Hunters are like bait. Yes, the Abyssal Hunters are like a glow at the bottom of the sea. Yes, the Abyssal Hunters are strong, yet their strength is but a tiny fraction of Aegir's power. Yes, the only thing special about the Abyssal Hunters is that they are indeed related to the sea monsters somehow. Anger rages in Skadi's crimson pupils, but there is that tiny bit of hope. How much of it is real, and how much of it is fake? We are not. Okay, let's go. How sappy. No reason to dawdle around. I'm an Abyssal Hunter. Is it somehow different for you girls in your squad? All abyssal hunters are like that. This place is about to collapse. Besides,
As though lured here by the bishop's lifeless body, the sea terrors are boring into the cave through the fissures. In huge numbers, no less. 3 hunters are walking on Seacoast Way.
there's too many of them. Skadi, I need you to put yourself here. You are the only one whose arms and legs aren't all scrapped up. What do you mean? What do you mean to do? My hands are numb already. When was the last time you had to stick your hands into their mouths to tear them into two?
About 3 seconds ago. Gladiia turns around and sticks her hand into the mouth of one of the monsters, piercing its entire body through its head. She quickly swings her arm, and unable to withstand the force the hunter is exerting on its body, the monster is torn into 2 from the inside before flung away.
Just now. No, as long as its body is still there, there will be no end to the sea terrors. It's summoning them. It's an anchor. We'll need to destroy the body then. Burying it won't be quite enough. I'll do it. When you have a huge hole in you. You too.
A figure appears before the hunters, surprising Skadi when she sees her face.
Get moving, hunters. What are you doing here? We'll talk later. Monster, do it.
Monster crashes into the ceiling of the chapel. It tears the sea terrors apart with its sharp blades. A black sphere forms in its mouth before blasting away downwards. It shakes the entire city and hill, sending what is left of the chapel crumbling down. The bishop and its secrets have been destroyed forever, and no one will know any of it. Surprise cuts, it crashes the scene. God damn. Someone one day needs to make a cut, like a smash cut every time she appears somewhere on the scene. Just randomly. I just want that to be a thing at some point. Anyway, finishing off this narration with the final scene, titled Lucky to Escape. The problem unresolved, the friend unrecovered, the enemy yet unchained. In the end, all is but a beginning. Dr. Kalset, I would like an explanation.
I knew things weren't as simple as they seemed. The Inquisition is simply keeping too many more secrets than the Iberian people deserve to know.
My lady, need I remind you that spreading rumors and heresy is strictly forbidden in Iberia?
High Inquisitor, I'm only saying this because you already know those secrets. The Church of the Deep has infiltrated Iberia and is taking root here in secret. They took advantage of the relationship you once had with the sea. Abandoned Iberian cities have become the beachhead for the Church of the Deep's encroachment onto dry land. They have their own interpretations of your scripture, and they use them to bend your will. They also hide well. With so many irons in the fire, there was never any way for you to attend to all of it. So, you should cry out for help. If you continue this pointless war of territory and faith, we will miss our one chance.
The hunters and the Inquisitor find themselves in a peculiar face-off with Kalset. Skadi starts to think that perhaps Kalset is actually on her side.
Your Honor, Iberians are different. The skyline that you see every day is different from what everyone else who walks this world sees. What do you call the place where you live every day and night? The coast. Other people live on land, while Iberians live by the coast. For the majority of the population, whether they live in the wilderness or the cities, their sightlines are the sky above and the endless swath of land and mountains ahead. Anything above the clouds means nothing. When they talk about the world, they refer to these lands alone. The land on which they live is the world to them because they've decided there is nothing in this world beyond these lands. Whether residing in sealed-off cities, out-of-the-way villages, or hostile wilderness, they believe in what they see and nothing else. Now look at them again. These abyssal hunters. These Aegir. The ocean is vast in ways beyond the land. Iberia is not like other countries. Those who reside on land are obsessed with their ways and their authorities. They overlook the infinite possibilities and the opportunities to explore the boundaries that they blindly choose to ignore. Your world is far more complete. You understand both the land and the sea. Iberia has a much better knowledge of its place in the world than anyone else. This has given you a huge lead over everyone in the past.
That is enough. This is all water under the bridge. The radiance of the cities has faded, and Iberia is nothing but a pile of rubble today.
What a surprise. I thought you would dodge the subject.
You are here, and you are certainly not blind. Look out and see for yourself. Cities like Salviento line the entire Iberian coastline.
Iberia was once a prosperous nation, but how many of these ruins can be found here today?
Kaltid knows, and naturally the High Inquisitor knows too. However, with the High Inquisitor's steely composure, it is impossible to discern any kind of emotion from his expression whatsoever. Furthermore, he is wearing a mask. If they could cry, then the Iberians would definitely cry. If they could laugh, then the Iberians would definitely laugh out loud. Yet here stands one such impassioned Iberian, who has since turned into the emotionless man before her. Without expression and without emotion, Iberia's golden age has passed into a life of tranquility. There are too many. We cannot support them, and many cities are unable to support themselves. Ever since the profound silence, Iberia is not what it once was.
Then you need the support of others all the more.
No one knows what happened in Iberia, and no one may know.
Because Iberia was once on the brink of total destruction.
Even now, Iberia cannot be destroyed.
You are still here, and so are the Iberian people. I believe that even if not a single city remained.
Katsit looks at the three abyssal hunters. Of them, Skadi is walking towards some inhabitants exiting the buildings. Seems like she has something to say to them.
Iberia citizens won't give up so easily. High Inquisitor, please allow me. Pride and prejudice have destroyed the Aegir. This land must not repeat the mistakes of the deep sea folk. If Iberia falls to the aftershock of this disaster, then there will no longer be anyone who knows the true face of the sea and the horror of the threat it poses. Just like a certain hunt in the tundra roughly a century ago, it is the territory of mankind that we are guarding, not the horror and reputation of a nation. Not the honor and reputation of a nation against the sea monsters and against anything else. Besides, if Iberia keeps lingering on with its last breath.
Kaltsid looks into the High Inquisitor's eyes. His expression remains unchanged. He does not appear to be in denial, nor is he approving of her view. Nonetheless, Kaltsid will finish.
In that case, Iberia will one day meet its fate. As of now, you can still rebuild your homeland, rebuild Iberia.
I don't believe that.
My objective isn't to get you to see things my way. This question has not been answered, and a decision has to be made. It doesn't necessarily need to be answered by you, nor does it have to be now. We still must resolve the Salviento affair. The High Inquisitor looks at the hunters. One of them will have to stay. I will. No. You two need to go back. Calcit, we will do as we discussed. I won't be there to lead them, so you will have to take my place. You? What's this supposed to mean? High Inquisitor, perhaps I can take their place. I can serve as a proxy for them in your interrogations. I can straighten out the details of the events that transpired here, and you will get the information that you need. Pardon. I can survive an Iberian prison.
If you insist.
Lady Calcit? Doctor?
You want me to expel them from our territory?
For now, at the very least. The three of you, go back to Rhode Island. Misery will pick you up near the northeastern border. Don't take the waterway this time.
The Inquisition will determine the route they will take.
As long as the destination remains unchanged, you may route them however you want. When will you come back? I can't wait for you too long.
This is not for her to decide.
Let's not jump to conclusions yet, little birdie of Iberia. A prison's walls are as paper to me. Gladiia? No. So you want me to watch him take you away? That's right. Don't worry about me, Gladiia. Now go, hunters. Surely a heart-to-heart with Specter must be on the agenda. Now that she's awake, she can give you the answers you've always wanted. Her own answers. And you have nothing to say to me. This is a rare opportunity for everyone, yourself included. I'm afraid I don't have any suitable advice for a hunter like you. Am I too hasty for your liking? No, but you understand your own situation far better than I. In any case, I don't know how much longer you can maintain your current state, though I suppose that's the least of your worries. How do you know? Just a hunch. You're in a good mood after all. I'm sure it matters to you very little whether you're awake or not, Specter. After all, the way things are now is not that bad for you. You needn't tell me. Nothing has ever been completely optimal for us. And if I contemplate the future, then that would be such a drag. My standards are much lower than yours. As long as things are decently sorted, they're good enough for me. I suppose so. I am not one to preach the Church of the Deep's words, but that was me as well. There is no point in hating myself. If anyone wants to know the difference, then let them listen to me talk. I will settle for giving them a hard time. Is this how you used to be? Perhaps, Dr. Calcit. Besides, I finally have some old friends here with me. Not some landlubber that I wouldn't know how to talk to, even if I wanted to talk. You know, they haven't even seen seaweed before. You could teach them. You still have a lot of new friends at that place you can now go back to. In the future, your colleagues will need you. I will need all of you as well. We need you. Besides,
Calcit says something. Specter laughs in return.
Well, don't come home too late. This doctor is never late, Specter. Let's go, hunters. We'll leave the rest to her. She can take it. Wait, Captain, I will have something to tell her. Lady Calcit, deploying without any approval against Skadi. At least you knew well enough to talk to engineering and get them to prepare that case for you. They contacted me straight away. You're doing much better than before. I didn't expect you to actually come help me. I told you, I'm a woman of my word, and that goes no matter what it is you are up to. Now go home to Rhode Island. Enjoy your vacation.
Kalsid glances at Skadi. She doesn't say anything, but starts smiling. Hey, look at that, a smiling Kalsid. One of the rarest beings in all existence.
All of us have things that are simply beyond our abilities. Even the doctor struggles from time to time. Our technology is not yet able to cure your infection, and neither can you. But Specter, not being able to eradicate it doesn't mean you can't defeat it. You can exterminate shadows, but you can make them your friend. Skadi, there isn't much you can do about your dark fate, but you can learn to work alongside it. Perhaps only you can wrestle tooth and nail with it till the end of times.
Hey, look at that, a smiling Skadi. That is another rare being.
Oh, it's you, Singer. You came back. Yes. Huh? Where's your saxophone? No idea. Oh, don't worry. I'm sure you left it somewhere around here. I'll help you look for it. Also, about your harp. You dropped it yesterday. I've been holding on to it for you. It's yours now. I can have it, just like we promised. Does that mean you found your friend? That's great news, Singer. I'm so happy for you. But you look really tired. You look more tired than you were last night. Are you hurt? It's okay. I'm just a little dizzy. Well, okay, I didn't see you and I was so worried you ran into some kind of trouble. Something really amazing happened just now. Did you see that? There was an explosion, then another, like bang, bang, boom. The mountain over that way kept shaking, and then it suddenly came crashing down. I thought our house would come crashing down too. Are you all okay? We're fine. The only problem is that all our food is still inside. It's already rotten. We'll probably go hungry for a while again. It's all thanks to the Inquisitor. She was the one who told us to leave the house and to stay away from the coast and the chapel up on the hill. She helped you. Yeah, she's such a nice person. She protected us the whole time. Ahem. Got a sore throat? You wretch. No matter. I will let you off the hook just this once. You're a lucky one, Eager. The High Inquisitor didn't take you away. You've been waiting for me. I knew you'd be back. I have something to tell you. Still haven't given up? What? Why are you in a fighting stance? I haven't even drawn my weapon. What I'm trying to say is, I'm sorry I was so harsh with you before. I'm not the kind of person who doesn't apologize when she's wrong. I may be an Inquisitor, but when an Inquisitor makes a mistake, she needs to reflect on it all the more. When you first stepped into the town, I saw you right away. I could tell you were an Eager, costume or no. You are different. At the time, I was angry and my passion was inflamed. I thought I had finally found the answer. The evil outsider, the culprit who brought this misfortune to us. I thought that by dragging you out here and defeating you, I could right the wrongs and solve our problems. I thought it was that simple. But I am no match for you, and what could defeating you change anyway? The real threat to this city and all Iberia faces is not a single Eager or two. You've grown. Much thanks to you. I can't think the way I used to think anymore. What happened here has left me bewildered to the point that I'm not sure how I'd judge anything again. I am an Inquisitor. It is my duty to eradicate the threats that Iberia faces in order to uphold its order. You are a threat, but are you our enemy? Then we have the people here. Should I protect them, or should they be eliminated? And what if I can't make sense of it? What then is my reason for taking up the sword? It will leave me directionless, stuck in the same spot, just like the people here. Then it was just you and the locals who helped me see things clearly. I can't save the inhabitants. It probably sounds strange, but once I realized this, I made a decision to protect them. At the very least, at the very moment and right now, I know what is right and what is wrong. As for you, you did the right thing. You protected this place. For the time being, at least. That is much more than I have ever done for these people. You did the right thing too. Huh? What I did was no different from what you did. What do you mean, no different? No matter, you are just as terrible at giving comfort as you are at disguises. You wanted comfort from me. What do you... No, thank you. Good, I don't have any for you either. So, you found the answer you were looking for? I don't need it anymore. I've asked too many questions, I found my answers, and once I've calmed down, I realized those answers meant nothing, really. Just like you, I know which way I'm headed now. Oh, seems we're both ready. It's about time I get going, and I know it's time for you to go as well. You have gone free, so you must have come to some kind of agreement with the High Inquisitor. Well, goodbye. As long as we are still chasing the same goal, perhaps we will see each other again somewhere. Huh? Did the Inquisitor leave? What a shame. I want her to see what I'm making. What's this? It's the seaweed alcohol you taught me to make. Is this looking okay? Are the pieces too big still? They are way too small. Huh? Let me try again. It's okay. We don't have any food left, but we still have plenty of seaweed. If we run out, I'll get some more from Uncle Fireplace. You will get better. Once I'm finished, you'll be gone by the time I've finished, right? You came here to tell me this, didn't you? You are leaving. Yes, I'm leaving.
Anita subconsciously kneads away at the seaweed.
Right, you are a wandering singer. You wander, only stopping once in a while. Will you ever come back? I want to listen to you play your harp and sing some more. Grandma Petra and the drywall, they do too. Yes, I will. My friends too. We can come together. That sounds great. It's a promise, okay? Be sure to come back soon. I will be waiting for you here.
Woodframe?
Here. Singer, they need me for something. I gotta go. Don't forget what you promised. That can there. The red shell. Anita.
Just as she said she would, the girl stops in her tracks, turns around, and smiles at Skadi.
Yes? If next we meet on the outside, I'll still sing for you. Okay. Looks like I gotta keep your harp in my box. See you, singer. See you.
Damn it. Damn it. Gladiia caresses her face in the mirror.
Look at you. You still end up an ugly bitch in the end. You should have died in the deep sea. Is this what you wanted? You should have died with everyone else instead of going into hiding here. constantly on edge no matter what you do, even breathing, much less letting them hear you singing. You have to shut yourself up in a landship bathroom just to complain about your predicament, never again to ride the waves. All you can do is wait until you fully transform into a beast. Look, this is you. It's too soon. Too soon. The ship. I need to find that ship. Seaborn tried to get her answer from Skadi. The monster tried to pry the truth from their murderers. Which also means that the hunters still have a chance. Perhaps their one and only chance. Their gods give no revelation. Before the waves engulf the world and those monstrous colossi summon their bloodkin, we must smother the sea with silence. Its brood will know nothing of this. We will exterminate them at their source. This is our only chance. This will bring about a calamity. But Aegir will get its moment of reprieve. I can't hear Aegir. Just like the monsters waiting in vain in their revelations. Nonetheless, we have a responsibility. The Abyssal Hunters must be the first to uncover Iberia's secrets. The last dreadnought of the Iberian fleet, indomitable, yet disappearing without a trace in the span of a night. Gladiia stops gazing at herself in the mirror. This is my duty. I must defend Aegir. By capturing that golden ship and taking hold of that key, the doors to the vault will fling wide open, and the volcano shall be unleashed.
And that is how the story ends. Continuing very soon when Stultifera Navis drops onto the global servers. But yeah, man. I remember originally when this released, like what, a year and a half ago, I believe, at this point. I don't remember the actual date when this actually released, but I think it was like a year and a half ago. I remember when they released the original CG trailer teaser trailer for this whole thing. Immediately you get, like, the moment they show Salviento in that trailer, you get an Eldritch vibe, the sea and the sea terrors and everything in that. Immediately Eldritch bullshit. And I was ready for it. I was just like, yes, give me Eldritch nonsense. I want it. But yeah, what can I say about the story as a whole? The only literal negative that I can give about the story, and that is pretty much true for the majority of the game, would be just there's a lot of portions where the story could be like slightly trimmed. Like there's a lot of bloated text, but then again, Arknights' story is done in a visual novel concept, just like most of other mobile gacha games are doing it. So just like a visual novel or, well, a book, you need to have words there describing what is happening, obviously. You cannot show or tell everything in CGs. That's quite a lot of work to be done. Quite a lot of a budget would have to be had there. But still, the story as a whole was pretty interesting. Finally getting to see what this whole Aegir business and Iberia business was about, or at least getting a glimpse on the current situation of the whole mess they are finding themselves in. Because yes, there was supposedly some catastrophe that happened in the sea that Iberia is on the coastline of, and it pretty much wrecked Iberia to shreds. What actually happened? Well, there are bits and pieces thrown about, but I can't remember if it's anywhere explicitly told. Maybe the Navis story is gonna go a bit deeper. I hope it's gonna go a bit deeper into it. But overall, pretty good story. Pretty deranged. It had literally all the Lovecraftian aspects here. Deranged people, creatures from the sea that are disgusting and somehow beautiful to look at. Considering there's like a flowery aspect to a lot of them, especially towards the bishop there at the end with his transformation. And then we have all of the characters. Like, there isn't... Skadi already appeared in a story before this. She appeared in the story together with Grani, and there wasn't much to her character. Like, you can tell even from this story at the beginning, there isn't much to it. She's pretty much keeping to herself, not really talking much. She's pretty much just a cruise missile that you gave a command, go to that point and explode. That's it. That is pretty much how she handles shit. Which isn't a bad thing, but it's very simple. And not much is being talked about what was happening originally. And even in her file, from what I remember, I need to reread it, considering I'm going to be recording that as well, starting a few hours later after this recording. But even her file and stuff is being vague on shit, but there are details in there that vaguely tell about shit, including Specter's file as well, about the whole experimentation thing. But yeah, the story was great in the aspect as well to show that Skadi does have personality, that the whole reason why she is being standoffish to people and not expressing much of herself is literally the fact that she doesn't want to connect to anybody else, in the fear of both exposing them to danger and losing even more loved ones. Gladiia, on the other hand, is pretty much a hard ass who is struggling with her own demons, especially as we've just seen at the final scene here. She is already slowly transforming into some kind of seaborn. Specter, on the other hand, like I said at the beginning of the episode on the last episode segment, had some very terrible experiments done to her. Like, holy shit, terrible. I mean, there is literal liquid freaking originium in her spine. That is some next level. Obviously, that is refined stuff. That is not a normal infection. It was, as told in the story just now, was pretty much infused into her, and she survived it. She did, however, become deranged into the person we know as Specter, the person that dresses as a nun, and is a bit cray-cray, but she is apparently even more cray-cray, or very direct, in her normal form. But yeah, she has had some very terrible experiments done to her, retracted into a shell, as her actual self was asleep inside of whatever personality surfaced, potentially also protecting the Iberian secrets to some extent. Also, by the way, on the channel is, and I'll mention this when I go into the files over the next few days, Specter has basically two operator records if you want to watch them and know a bit more about her as a character. The first one doesn't really say anything about Specter. You can skip that one if you want. It is adorable. It does have Suzerain in it, but there's almost no Specter in it. The second one is way more interesting. The second operator record for Specter is actually taking place between now, where we ended the story, and Stultifera Navis. And Gladiia also has an operator record. Hers, on the other hand, is taking place before Undertides. So if you want more of those stories, go ahead and watch them, or watch them yourself if you are playing the game. You can unlock them pretty easily, or if you cannot be bothered, for your convenience sake, it is uploaded on this channel as well, so you can just peruse through it. But yeah, I do like the supporting cast in this. Irene, who will become a playable character, and I do want to know how she comes to Rhode Island. I want to know. I can't wait for that patch to drop just to see what the story is behind her getting to Rhode Island and how she gets in contact. I mean, how she gets into contact with Rhode Island is probably gonna be the obvious one of Kaltzit, but her character is very interesting in this story. At the beginning, when she appears, pretty much just she appears like just a typical angry tsundere kind of character. She, by the way, she does sound like a tsundere. If you go and look, if you go and listen to her voice files in Japanese, she literally sounds like the most default of default tsundere voices that you can imagine. But she evolves during this whole thing. A lot of her and Skadi both literally evolve during this whole story, and it's great to watch the evolution of their character, going from going from point A to B and not considering anything else, but then seeing as she observes the things around her, talking about Irene here, as she observes the things around her and starts to think more and deciding herself what she wants to do and not follow through what the High Inquisitor's plan is, going out of her way to save the people, even having this nice little moment here at the end where she has a nice little chat with Skadi is very, very nice. Very nice to see. Very nice character development from our little Irene. Then we have Skadi again. Like I said, great also to watch her character development during this. She basically almost doesn't talk for half of this story, until the point where she comes with Anita back to her abode and starts teaching her about alcohol making, and sings for her and everybody else who is present. It is a very nice moment in in the story, probably one of my highlights when it comes to just her accepting and seeing that she did grow close to Anita, that she definitely likes her. Especially you can see it in this last scene where she's talking to Anita there at the end, and almost the entire time has like a little charming little smile on her face as she's doing so, signaling that yes, she does consider Anita to be like a little friend to her. They did bond over the story pretty well. The High Inquisitor, I can't really say anything about him because he's pretty much, well, you can negotiate with him at least, but pretty much has a stick up his ass for now. I don't know how to put him. I hope he's present in the Navi story just to see if there is more to him than meets the eye. And what else? But yeah, also regarding the big reveal, like I said as well earlier, very well handled that whole scene here on this stage's story, where it goes over this whole spiel of what the Abyssal Hunters are, what is circulating through their blood, why they are as diesel as they are, the side effects from them having infused seaborn blood into them. They're essentially, like it was stated literally in a few sentences ago, they're essentially just bait. They're essentially just Iberian-made bait because they are super diesel at what they do, and that is killing the seaborn. But they also, if they even get slightly injured and their blood starts flowing out, the seaborn just swarm towards them because they think it's one of their own kin. So it's like it's a double-edged sword. They pretty much get swarmed and devoured by them, which is yikes. But yeah, seeing that seaborn as well, also having the description of seaborn being the seaborn creatures being the first creatures on this planet. I mean, obviously, evolution-wise, yes, would make sense if for the world of Terra, or whatever the fucking planet is called. Which, by the way, I'm not sure if ever in the story so far, at least on Global, there was ever a mention of what the freaking planet itself is called, because the name Terra is only referring to the landmass we know so far, which apparently includes also Eager, which is a underwater country. Which, again, I hope that Navis is gonna explore quite a lot. I would love to see a bit of that thing. But yeah. Trying to think here if there was anything else worth mentioning during this story to discuss, but I don't think so. But yeah, anyway, I think this will be enough of rambling around about the story and all the things. All I can say here at the end, this marks the third story that I have done on this channel out of the 3 intermezzi stories. If you haven't yet watched them, or if you're new to the channel and wanna watch and listen to the other 2 stories, A Walk in the Dust and Dark Knight's Memoir, if you wanna, they're on the channel. I've done pretty much the same type of narration as I did for this series. And there's much more. The main story, operator module short stories. There are files, as I've mentioned before. While not yet with a voiceover, I did also record pretty much every single one of the operator records that is existing on the global side of things. So if you want to watch any one of those, they're all on the channel. Yeah, I think that is enough for self-promotion, I would say. But anyway, this will be enough for today. I'm gonna go and chill now and wait for this thing to render out on YouTube and check if the thing is actually alive, because once I recorded like an hour-long recording and there was no audio on it. Hopefully that is not a thing in case here. I'll be very pissed. But time to chill out, wait for the anime to be live, and enjoy that first episode. And in the meantime, I hope you all have a fantastic day, evening, morning, afternoon, whatever, where you are. And I will see you in the next upload on the channel. Until then, bye bye.